Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the Magicshine RN 1500 front headlight. Although bike lights have continued to get brighter and offer more features, they're almost always only offered in simple black finishes. Magicshine has decided to change that with their new RN 1500 series of lights, which have anodized aluminum finishes. We have all three colors here. You have the red, gray, and the blue, and they're very distinct compared to what's on the market currently. We don't have the original packaging. Instead, we have an early look here, and we have all the contents in little baggies. In terms of what you expect for packaging, it'll probably be very similar to the RN 3000 or other Magicshine lights. Simple cardboard box, labeling, and then specs written on the back. So in lieu of actually taking out the box, we'll just go over the specs. So retail price on these lights is $94.99. This is the first time the RN series has been offered through Magicshine. You could buy it through Allty, as their Allty RN 1500 with the same specs but no color options. It has 1500 lumen max output, and that's FL1 tested. An anti-glare lens, so a very simple design that reduces glare for pedestrians that look at the light when you're riding toward them. 5000 milliamp lithium ion battery. It's a 21700 lithium ion cell, and it's integrated into the body, so it's not replaceable. But you do have a USB Type-C charging port right on the back, and that actually supports USB C2C cables as well. So you can charge it using a C cable directly to your USB-C outlet. You have the Garmin quarter turn style mount. Nice modern compatible mount with a lot of third-party mounts, so you don't have to use what Magicshine offers. You can use a lot of aftermarket out in front mounts or adapters. In terms of what comes in the box, we don't have the box, but we have the contents. Pretty standard affair here. You get the handlebar mount, not our favorite, but a simple plastic mount with a Allen bolt here that'll tighten down. You get different length straps, so you can even do this on mountain bikes, aero bars, just by simply swapping this out. And you can see the aero bar one is very long. You get the little wrench to install it, a USB Type-C charging cable, and what's nice is that Magicshine also gives you the GoPro to the Garmin adapter, and that'll let you install this on a GoPro mount, upside down or right side up. Note, if you do upside down, you do have to angle it lower due to the anti-glare lens. Now let's take a look at the weight of this setup. So just the mount is 16 grams, so quite light. And then one of the lights comes in at 164. So on the lighter side for an all-in-one style light. Now let's go over the fit and finish of the Magicshine RN 1500. Very simple design that matches a lot of the Magicshine lineup, including the RN and Allty series. So you have an aluminum body, and you can see the finish on these are really nice. You have the three colors, the space gray, the wine red, and the deep blue. And because they're anodized, you can actually see the reflective aluminum underneath. So it gives it a very glossy appearance. Even the gray looks a lot better than the matte black lights they usually get. You have an extruded body, and this is where the 21700 battery actually will sit. So you pretty much have a battery and the little small lens and LED. Single LED design with the deflector on here. And this is very simple. It's a sawtooth design, and it'll just move the light downward. So if you turn on the light, this is what other brands call a dual beam. So instead of just having the circle, so if I were to cover up the top, you can see that actually hides that bottom portion. So this bottom portion is what's being deflected downward from those deflectors. A very simple solution. It's not as nice as some European lights, which have true beam cutoffs, or like your car, which would have a sharp cutoff. But a simple solution that reduces glare. Simple horizontal fins in here that add a little visual interest. RN 1500, Magicshine written on top, USB Type-C charging port here, and it does support USB C2C, so you can use a C cable directly to your laptop or charging port. Nice rubber gasket. Underneath it, you have the Garmin compatible quarter turn mount, and very nice, simple design. Works with tons of third-party mounts, so you don't have to just use Magicshine. You can see with their mount, nice click, and then simple removal. The interface on these lights is also very simple. You click it once, and you can see the battery status. So it'll be green, red, or flashing red. Turn it on, you just hold it, then it turns on. And you have a two-level interface, so one press will cycle through low, medium, high. Double click and you'll get the flash option 1. and then the second flash option. Double click to go back. So nice simple interface. You don't have 21 modes like a lot of the bigger Magicshine lights have. And flash mode is separate, so you don't have to constantly cycle through it. Here we have a closer look at the mount. It's a pretty simple design. You have a little Allen bolt that's attached to the bottom of this plastic strap. And as you tighten it, it'll actually pull this in and it'll give you a nice secure mount. We don't really like this mount. It's included with a lot of Magicshine lights. Even though it works well, it's a little cumbersome to install. So you actually have to put it in there, loop it over, and then you have to have a tool. So it's not a quick release type with like a lot of other lights. We highly recommend just going an out in front mount and then putting this directly in front of your handlebar for a cleaner installation. Here we have the RN 1500 installed on the bike. I have it on my UTF mount, so I can actually put it upside down. You can see it's not necessarily designed to be mounted upside down because the beam cutoff is actually designed to work right side up. But if you do enough angle, you can get around that. And for daytime visibility only, like a flash mode, it's not as much of an issue. For nighttime riding, I highly recommend flipping it over and doing it right side up so you don't have glare. The other nice thing with this is the color. You can see in the sun here, nice and shiny, and actually matches my Specialized pretty well, which is a chameleon color. So you can see if you put them side by side, adds a nice little character, especially when most bike accessories are just black. Now in terms of output modes, there are only 5 modes, so it's very simple. You have low, medium, and high with pretty good run times with the 1500 lumen mode, providing you up to 1 hour and 40 minutes. You also have 2 flash modes, a standard on-off, and then a very interesting pulsing mode, which looks really weird in camera and even in person, as it really has a high frequency. Now as far as riding with this, the low one is very low, so it's pretty dim, better for urban riding or very well-lit roads, while medium and high provide nice balance. This is definitely a spot beam, as you can see in the riding footage. So it's more focused with that single LED, and with the anti-glare design, you get that dual beam appearance, so more light below you, right in front of the bike. It has good coverage, so even in nighttime, the 1500 lumens is more than bright enough. And with the battery status indicator as the illuminated button, it's very easy to check how much battery you have. And if you need to recharge it, easily do it before you do the ride. Now let's do a little comparison between the RN 1500 and other lights on the market. Here we have a bunch of Magicshine lights as well as a Fenix. Now the most direct comparison is the RN 1200. You can see it's almost the same light, same size, same lens. The RN 1200 is obviously 1200 lumens, while the RN 1500 is 15. And they accomplish this with the larger battery pack. It's 5,000 milliamps versus 4,000. Here you can also see the color difference. This is the matte black finish, while the anodized finishes have much more glossy appearance and obviously a lot more fun colors. Even in the space gray, it looks a lot shinier than the flat black version. So more distinct styling, I'll definitely stand out. Now the RN series also has some brighter lights, like the RN 3000. And you can see it's essentially 2 lights next to each other, double the battery, double the output. It has 2 lenses, but the same deflector on here to improve the anti-glare capabilities. Same Garmin mount, USB-C charging port, and again, matte black versus the colored. You can also buy smaller versions of this light, but they're sold as the Allty. Here we have the Allty 400. There's also Allty 600, 800 as well. And these are just the fun size versions. Same lens, same interface, backlit button, USB Type-C, but obviously smaller with the smaller battery and smaller output. So those are a good option if you're a commuter and don't need the power. The Allty series also has bigger brothers like this Allty 1000. These have the DRLs, which is something I wish the RN series had, because it's really useful. In daytime, you can just leave it in that mode and this will run for hundreds of hours. So instead of having to run flash during the day, you can just leave DRL. There's other lights on the market as well at this power output. We have the Fenix BC26R here, not quite yet released yet, but it has similar output, 1600 lumens versus 15. Similar form factor, you can see they both have a 21700 cell. What separates the Fenix from a lot of lights on the market is because they're a flashlight company, they actually have removable battery packs, so same 5000 milliamp battery, but with this one, it's not integrated, it's actually removable. The only downside to the Fenix is that the interface isn't quite as nice. So you have the same battery status checker, you have the mode cycling, double click to do flash, but it's not quite as large and easy to grip. And it has a proprietary mount instead of the Garmin style mount, which was the biggest downside. So you can't really mount this anywhere. You have to use their one mount, and there's no real adapters currently available. Now let's go over the pros and cons for the RN 1500. What we like about it is that it has USB Type-C charging and even supports C2C charging as well. It's also stylish and sleek with the anodized finishes, something you don't really see with bike lights, which are always just flat black. And the two-level interface separates the flash modes and also allows you to check the battery status with one click. Some of the cons for the light is the fact that there are no DRLs. Unlike the Allty series, you just have a single LED setup. And with the anti-glare design, it's actually not suited for upside-down mounting. And if you do, you really need to angle it downward. Otherwise, the anti-glare adds more glare. Finally, the charging ports and the mount are not color matched. It's a very minor point, but would make the light look a little more premium, especially in the red color or the blue color. Taking everything into account would give the RN 1500 a 9.5 out of 10. It's a very powerful and stylish light. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at thesweetcyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.